Aloha, everyone. It's Trish da Dish. I'm live and lively here from the beautiful island of Maui in Hawaii. So happy to see you for another episode of Mana'o at Home, where we bring you talk story and live music performance from our favorite artists here in Maui. All Maui artists. This is number 65. We're so excited. We've got a great show today. We're going to be talking about a lot of great things. And thanks again to Jimmy Dillon for being here last time. Woo! What a player. We heard so many great stories from him. And you can follow the catalog on Mana'o Radio /Mana'oAtHome.com. So thank you so much for being here. So I'm really excited about this guest today. I've been trying to get him on the show for a while now. He's super kind. Literally, I think the definition of down to earth, you're right next to it. He's just got a really great personality, super fun. And I also love all he does for activism and education and perpetuating Hawaiian culture. And I just love this guy. We're so happy to have him here today. We're going to be doing some original music and just talking story about good things. Ladies and gentlemen, singer, songwriter, father, farmer, surfer, awesome soul, Pat Simmons Jr.
All right, good to be here.
Thanks for being here, Pat.
Yeah,
Aloha.
Mahalo.
Groovy shirt. Thanks for dressing up.
Yeah, it's just a mother-in-law special here.
Oh, thank you. Gotta love
It was
those
a gift from my mother-in-law.
Yeah, she's got good taste. I like her vintage thrift store digging. We'll be talking. Actually, we're gonna have a whole section about mushrooms and farming coming up. But we're gonna be here. I'm really happy to have you here because, like, we were talking story a little bit off the air. You haven't really played much live in the last few years. You just kind of got your feet to the ground, running again in the last few months. How does it feel to be back out there playing music?
Feels good, feels exciting, and I got more music I'm working on releasing soon, hopefully too. So it's just kind of a new chapter in my musical adventure.
So wonderful. So we went from the mountain, and now we'll be coming down and be. So these are original songs today that not a lot of people have heard, unless they've been at your gigs.
I'll probably throw in a couple, unreleased ones, but
Yes.
I wanted to continue just to share some of the ones from the record here that people, still you'd be surprised people come to me and they haven't heard my record. So even though it's like 2017 release, I think, but called This Mountain.
Yeah. Hoku
And,
nominated.
Yeah, I
Gotta
got
love
nominated.
that
I
for a
actually went to the
debut
Hoku
album.
Awards and got to experience all that. It was pretty exciting.
It's a nice rush, right? You feel like you get to dress up. The Hawaiian
It was
Grammys.
cool, yeah, coming from the country and
Yeah.
haiku it was different, for me, like not so much a city boy.
Did
Even
they
though
let
I
you
was
wear?
raised around the world, I'm still a country boy. So
Yeah, I mean, you've lived on Maui since you were 6.
yep, since I was 6, my dad got the land that we live on still when I was 4.
Oh my
and
goodness.
then we moved over when I was 6.
What a
from
blessing.
Northern California.
All right, cool. We'll be hearing much more about all of that, but let's get started with some beautiful music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the online stage, Pat Simmons Jr.
Right. It's called Up and Out by Fives from the record here, and I like to open with this one because it's a morning dawn surf dawn patrol kind of song. So. Running and tumbling up and around and down to the south side. Don't take much to fill Jonathan's truck. Oh, way up. Got plenty grind and fishing line. The order's over and past the time. Up and out by 5. Dawn patrol at high tide. Up and out by 5. Floating under the moon. Sleeping underneath the Kiave tree at the edge of the sea. John and Susanna are in their trucks. Cody and I are hanging free. They'll tell you if the Pharaoh bear don't get you, then the hammock will. Up and out by 5. Dawn patrol at high tide. Up 5, floating under the moon. I've been out by 5, dawn patrol at high tide. I've been out by 5, floating under the moon. The only law out here is respect. I said the only law out here is respect. Is what we've been told by the people of old. The bumpy road and the waves may break and shake your mistakes. The offshore wind, yeah, it's gonna be firing. Sure enough, for all alone, we got it all. We got it all. We're on our way to play and make surfing history today. I've been out by 5, dawn patrol at high tide. I've been out by 5, floating under the moon. I've been out by 5, dawn patrol at high tide. I've been out by 5, floating under the moon. Up and out by 5, thank you.
That's a great song. It creates such a mood. Like, I feel like I'm having my tea. The sun hasn't risen. I'm stretching. I don't surf, but I figure that's what surfers do, right?
It's a little funny story behind that. Was out surfing a remote secret spot on the
Nice.
on a remote rocky side of Maui, and I got my friends up at like 4:30. I set my alarm for 4:30. Got my ukulele out. I think I have a little like miniature guitar, a little baby Taylor guitar on my surf trip, and we were camping for a few days. This gnarly spot that the waves are really scary. And I got my friends up at 5 sharp, singing that. I wrote it. We almost stayed up all night. I was in a hammock, trying to sleep in a hammock. That's where the song talks about. And my friend and I were sleeping in our hammocks under this kiawe tree, and I woke them up at 5 a.m. sharp, singing that.
Hell yeah. Do you get in the water?
And then I shot. I'm a photographer a little bit, surf photographer. The shot on the back of the album is from that day, that morning when we were surfing. And my friends got up and surfed it, and we were there in the dark waiting for the sunrise to rise. So
Wow,
it's
that's
called Up
mean.
and Out by 5.
I know, that's a great song. It's a beautiful mood. You're a great lyricist. You create a story.
Thank you.
I like that. Or I like to close my eyes, and feel like I'm there on the hammock with you.
Right,
So
yeah,
thank you for that.
Thank you.
I love to see. I got this album actually. Gail Swanson handed me this album a few
Right
years
on.
ago.
Sweet, yeah. She
Buddy,
she sang
I s-
backgrounds on
I was
some of
gonna
those
say,
songs.
I see some usual suspects here. Tom Conway, and of course, oh my gosh, mastered by Dave Russell and
Uncle
Payette.
Dave, yeah.
Uncle Dave's is
Yeah,
so
his
cool.
house.
I know. And Khalid Rochelle, what is it like to work with someone like him?
That's pretty special. Yeah, I mean, there's
the
that's
mana
a
that he
whole
just hanging out with
story
him.
in itself. Yeah, I mean, I had been working with this song called I called it Mauna Mele, like the mountain song, and I wrote this song right after seeing all that footage from Mauna Kea. This is like 2015, I think, and it's right around the time I met my wife. Actually, we were both involved with going up to the mountain when they were asking people to go up and
Right on.
send prayers for the people on Mauna Kea, and I met my wife up there actually on the mountain, which is kind of funny.
Beautiful.
So since our connection,
It's a strong woman.
our son
Yeah.
came right after all that, So,
That's special.
but anyway, when I wrote the song, she saw like a live video on YouTube of me singing at some protest at UH with Kale Koaka Eo and all these people, and she saw that little YouTube video, and that's where she said she fell in love with me, watching me sing that live. So
Stop it! You killing me. It's like an almost famous moment. I love that. That was so
and
sweet.
then that was before the song was recorded, and then
How special.
when we were recording this song, our friend Scott Johnson, who did the artwork on the album,
we know Scott.
he said, "Oh, I love this song, this mountain song. I gotta play this for Kaylee," and because he knows Kaylee Rachel pretty well, and so he played the song for Kaylee, and apparently Kaylee loved the song. That's what he told me, and then he's like, maybe you should ask him to see if he'll sing on it or something. So I had Scott, connect us, and I asked him if he wanted to play on it, and he said, I'd love to, and he wrote a whole part for the song.
Right
the Ola La Hawaii, the Hawaiian part for the song, he wrote. And you're not going to hear it in live, with me so much. I mean, I do sing the part of the Hawaiian part that he sings, but hearing it on the album is really special, and you really get the vibe because
he lives on the mountain. Deep,
he does.
Kula. Yeah, he lives deep
But
up there.
it's a powerful song, and it's touched a lot of people, and just reminded everybody that this mountain, this little island, is really a mountain, and even if we're not up high on the mountain, we're still on this mountain because it's it's the mountain peak sticking out of the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's a special place, and
Every day
even though I wasn't born here, I was raised here and been here most of my life, so I've been touched by this place and the culture.
Every day I try not to forget that, to look, I live on the North Shore, just to see and remember how small I am and how grateful I am to have my feet on the ground here, especially with what's going on, in a lot of places in other parts of the nation and the world. We're very blessed. Like you were saying, you eat so fresh. You live off the land. You literally do, I
do my best, I still go shop and buy stuff at the store that's imported, but, I grow a lot of kalo and that's a whole other.
That's a whole nother segment. We'll
chapter,
come back.
but
We'll be talking more about the soul food of Hawaii,
Yeah.
kalo. Don't forget, guys, this is a gig for Pat. So if you can see there, you can Venmo him at Pat Simmons Jr. And also Cody is volunteering his time. Cody Quintana. He's my sonic wizard. We appreciate him. And if you want to tip him, feeling a little tipsy, you can tip him at CQ Audio. So thanks so much for being here. Let's get another sweet sensation from Pat Simmons Jr.
Awesome. I'll sing that mountain song. It's,
Yeah.
Again, I just remind you that it's a special thing to live here in this, and the mountain is just a metaphor, for everything really, and I called the album "This Mountain" because that was the lead vocal of the song.
I love the A.
Right, yeah, it was Scott's
that was
idea,
good, yeah.
I think. But I'm so grateful to live here, and like you said, there's so much stuff going on in the world, and when just to be on this little island out here in the middle of the ocean is special, and for me, I like to always remember that this is Hawaiian land that I'm on, and there's a lot that has happened here in the past that the Hawaiian people are still not stoked about, and it's becoming more known that this is Hawaiian land, and so it's just another reminder. That's why I say this mountain is sacred, and we need to keep it healthy and perpetuate its health for the future generations. Not just the Hawaiians, but everybody who makes their home here. And we all need the fresh water flowing. We all need the soil health, the ocean health. And the Hawaiian culture did really good at taking care of their aina, so we can learn
And
a lot
each
from
other.
them. And each other for
We
sure.
need to
But
take
the
yeah.
aina is the word aina actually is the word ai, which means food in Hawaiian. So the aina is where you get the food. So we got to take care of our food source. It's our aina.
In a world of white and blue, there grew a mountain all the dolphins knew. There would be a home that embraced so many faces who came across the sea on the wind and waves that gave so graciously to lead the way for the next generation. This mountain is sacred, giving life. This mountain is sacred, it has no price. This mountain is sacred, giving life. This mountain is sacred and it has rights. Within the cracks on the back of new land began a single seed. The clouds were called by a wall of green that breathed to me to be so tall. The sky cried and the ground found a path for the water to float on down with the sound that water sings as it brings everything to life. The mountain shares the medicine, you and me and everyone in our family. What will we give back? Yala e, yala hoi, yala e, ta'apapalani. Yala e, yala hoi, yala e, ta'apapanue. Yala e, yala hoi, yala e na tupai na oivi e. Iola e kalani, iola ka honua, iola ka ko a maoloa e. Giving life, this mountain is sacred. Giving life, this mountain is sacred, it has no price. This mountain is sacred, giving life. This mountain is sacred, it has rights. This mountain is sacred, giving life. This mountain is sacred, has no price. This mountain is sacred, giving life, 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 giving life. This mountain is giving us life.
I love that. That's
Oh, thank you.
beautiful.
Gotta always remember that. That's this. The soil here is, and the waters here, are making it possible for us, you know. And no matter what food we eat, if it comes from the mainland, whatever, we're still surviving here, and it's important to remember. And the ships may, you know, they may take a pause, you know.
Yeah.
And
And I
it's
think
important.
that during COVID, it was a real, wake up call. Like how we can be self-sustaining. The backyard swaps. People were, how many gardens? Everyone became a gardener all of a
Right.
sudden.
Yeah, so that's a whole other chapter for me.
I pickle now.
Yeah, I mean, if I was always into farming and gardening from a younger age when my dad had fruit trees, and I come from like a multi-generational, like my ancestors were all farmers on my dad's side. They were all ranchers and pioneers. Like I think my dad's side of the family, they walked from Texas to Washington State, like wagon
Woo!
country in the old, like this is the 1800s, you know. So I come from like a farmer lineage, and and when everything shut down with COVID, I just began farming more, and then my garden business really started picking
Yeah.
up, and I started installing little food gardens for people, and I got
What's your favorite crop to?
yeah, so I specialize in Hawaiian root vegetables, sweet potato and kalo, and so and taro. So that's
The soul food.
yeah, I got really into growing taro maybe like 10 years ago, and I didn't really know how to grow it for a long time. You know, growing up here, like I love to eat it, but I didn't really know how to grow it well. And then a friend of mine, some farmers showed me the real way to make it, you know, boost. And so
Yeah.
now I've got like 6 foot high kalo
They're big as
plants.
you. Some of your
And,
photos when you hold it up.
Yeah, I've been developing my agricultural skills. I went to college in Evergreen State College in
Yeah,
Washington.
for ecology. Yeah.
And I got my degree out there, and I'm kind of like practicing that more than my music these days because music, kind of took the back burner for me raising kids and all that. So
You can wear all the hats.
yeah, totally. So
I was gonna say sharp
yeah.
hat.
and my so farming is really important to me, and just realizing the importance of agriculture in our lives over the years.
Absolutely.
I've started to focus more on that than the music, really. And the music has always been there for me, but I realized that growing food and connecting with the aina and the land is really important, and I want to pass that on to my children. And as much as I want to teach my kids to play music, I want to
Not right
sure
now
they know
because,
how to,
like as you said, they
Right,
grabbed
yeah.
the guitar from your hand.
yeah, my kids, it's tough to play at home.
3 years old.
My little 3-year-olds want me to give them the guitar, and so
your
they have
twins
their
are so-
ukuleles they play, and they break them and crash them around and jump on them.
Are they playing swords with their ooks yet?
A little bit, here and there, But yeah.
Aloha to your family. You have a
Yeah, thanks
sweetest,
if you guys
sweetest
are
little
listening.
family. The cutest
Aloha
little
to
kids.
everybody.
I love seeing them all in the dirt in the farm.
Totally, yeah. Right before I came here, actually, I don't know, didn't even shower, honestly. But right before I came here, we were just like out exploring the jungle, like climbing around the vines in the overgrown jungle of my family's land, and came right from there to here.
Hey,
I
life
put on
is
my
good.
mushroom shirt because
Yeah,
being a farmer, you realize how important mushrooms are for the soil, and breaking down all the wood chips and soil microbes. So yeah, farming to me is important, and
It's become an activism. You've really become. You have classes and you teach.
yeah,
and-
so I've been putting together. That's one thing I started kind of cultivating over the years. I
love
went and
that.
studied permaculture, a type of design, farming and agricultural design science called permaculture. And I went and studied that with some experts in Australia about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, and got really educated with that. And then finally been just practicing farming for 10 years to get the experience, so I can speak from experience. So now finally I'm teaching little classes, and you can find out. You'll see online whenever I post something about
Yeah.
it. But I've got some experience teaching, and really just teaching basic food gardens, like basic how to plant taro, how to build a garden bed.
Yeah,
so
I
that
like
the
how
average
direct you
person
are
can-
about it, but personable.
Yeah,
You're
so-
nice the way you convey it. I love how you
Yeah, I
convey
hope
it.
to like film one. Maybe Raj will film one for me, and we can like make an online class or something for people.
Hey,
but,
I like
but
that.
it's, you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to grow food here, and even sweet potato and taro, some of these common foods that we eat. And taro being less common for people, but that's part of my workshop. I do a taro gardening workshop, and part of it is as a culinary experience. So I bring my pressure cooker, my Instant Pot,
Oh, heck
and
yeah.
I
Which is
and I cook up
the best.
taro for people right there, so they get to learn how to plant it, harvest it,
Wow.
and cook it right there in the workshop. And so that's one thing I offer, maybe once every month or two.
I love to think that, like, from the earth, the kalo, like one of the, the oldest food, all the way to the Instapot,
Right.
and how it all comes together in a beautiful way.
Well, the emu is the next level.
Yes,
We gotta
that's
rock
the
the emu. I'll be working on that eventually. I do hope to form an agricultural-based program on my family's land. That's something that
Oh,
I envision.
wonderful.
So I'm still in the planning
Thank you.
phases of that. But yeah, I hope to teach people more about food sovereignty and learning. My studies with farming and agriculture brought me to learning about the Hawaiian culture, because they were expert farmers, and so that's something we can learn from the past, from the culture here, is how these people subsisted for generations. They had it dialed, and
much more population too, and they seem to be doing okay.
for sure, yeah, they didn't have imports and all that,
Yeah.
so they were surviving.
They seem to get
on what they
along
grew.
pretty well before.
Yeah, and we can, some people don't like the taste of taro or whatever, but they just haven't had the kind that I grow.
Yeah,
So
I like
eventually
that.
once people, that's part of my gardening work that I do for people. I plant garden beds too, and so once people taste the taro, then they want it. So,
Hey, that's the way.
but I also plant sweet potato, which is a faster crop. I really actually recommend sweet potato more because it's faster growing than taro, and we need fast crops here in Hawaii. So.
Yes. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for doing all of that. We really
Appreciate
appreciate you. What are you going to sing next?
Yeah,
I'm
I think,
excited.
Let's see.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in live on
Yeah,
Mana'o at Home.
think I'll sing my song Rust here. This is a tune. I started, went to college, learned about the whole environmental crisis of the world. It's kind of what got me into all farming. I went to school and then learned about the environmental stuff. And so when I learned about the environmental stuff, I started realizing how sensitive our ocean environments are. Mm-hmm. And so as a surfer, I spend like half my week in the ocean.
Right?
Like almost every day I go surf. So, and then my kids are in the ocean every day as well. So the ocean is really important to me. And it's a song called Rust, and it's about the reef health and just giving back and always remembering how precious our reefs are. And as a surfer and as people who are out there listening right now, if you care about the ocean, you gotta remember to take care of our ocean health. And it's a complicated world we live in. Just going and picking up trash is really not enough. We really just have to keep the awareness that the ocean is a food source for a lot of people. Especially the Hawaiians, the food was from the ocean was their most plentiful food. So most surfers don't even think about that the ocean is people's refrigerator. This is called Rust.
When the water looks clean and the tides between high and low, I will paddle free out into the rising sun. And even though I believe it'll outlive all of us, it seems the spoon that feeds everything is beginning to rust. Beginning to rust. The reefs of the sea are beginning to rust, and the waves that they breathe may just cease to be, cease to be. So I'm listening close to my early morning host, so clear like tears rolling down my nose. Do you really want to pull into a barrel of crude oil? Do you really want to take a chance? Just think about your last dance on a T.O.P. and A-frame, 'cause they're beginning to rust. The reefs of the sea are beginning to rust, and the waves that they breathe may just cease to be, cease to be. Paddling with this joy, start the day, catch it on my way, taking home what I'm shown in this tone. I hope you'll receive, beginning to rust. The reefs of the sea are beginning to rust, and the waves that they breathe may just cease to be, cease to be.
deceive.
It's called Rust. Thanks. All right.
I love the vibe of that song.
Thank
It's
you.
got like, you know, a poignant message, but it's also, you know, whimsical kind of and thoughtful and kind of like I'm in the ocean feeling, looking around.
And there's a cool music video actually I got to make with Raj. Actually, he
Oh, hi,
helped
Raj.
from Three Tree Creative, his little group. We made a music video a few years ago with that song with some of my favorite surfers that I grew up with here.
Oh, right on.
Matt Miola is in it.
Yeah,
Billy
Matt.
Kemper, Albie Lair, Ola Eliagram from Hana, and some of the haiku boys I grew up with are in the music video, and it's like a surf movie with me playing in the background. My son's, he's like 1 year old. He's in there, and so check that out. It's on YouTube. Just look up Pat Simmons Jr. Rust. There's a cool music video that I'm really into surfing. I grew up around the whole surf culture, so. I just knew I wanted to make a little surf movie with that song.
Mm-hmm. You do have that vibe about you. You're just like, you've got that groovy surf. Like
Thank
everything's all good, man.
Yeah, I grew up surfing and skateboarding, and I was just lucky enough that my dad decided to move here. When I was 6 years old, and I never really spent much time in the ocean before moving here. Like I grew up traveling around the world with my dad, and then.
Falling asleep on stage.
Yeah, backstage usually. But so when I came here, it's just like all about the ocean. And my dad first pushed me in when I was 6 in Kihei Cove Park.
Yeah.
First time I ever stood up, 1997 or 6 or something like that. And yeah, I didn't really get deep into it until after my cancer experience. I went through having testicular cancer in 2013.
Wow.
And finished up with chemo in 2014. And so it's been 9 years
in
cancer-free.
Woo!
But since then, I was like kind of crushed after that experience. And just like, okay, what do I do with my life? I just went through chemo, and it was really challenging. And I was just so grateful to be done with that. And I actually broke up with a girl I was with for a while at that same time. So I was like really down in the dumps. Just like, oh,
you're
my
like, get
gosh,
out of
like,
here!
oh,
Everyone, leave me alone.
Like I'm single now, and I just got done with chemo. What do I do? Go surf. So I just started surfing every day from that point on, and that's really what inspired the Rust song. Came out of that surfing experience, and just getting back in the ocean and uniting with the land and getting off the land in the water, and that really helped bring me at peace. Yeah. And the growing up in the ocean here for most young people is it's like the playground, and so it's a childhood experience to be back in the ocean. And even today when I go take I've got 3 little boys, and even when I take them to the beach, I'm just a kid again in the water. And so surfing and being in the waves has always been a part of my life here, and yeah, it's just every day is a blessing, and
surviving, putting that perspective, you probably a whole new appreciation for
sure
being in the water and being, getting your food from the earth and educating everybody else. Yeah, you have like a whole new lease on life.
Sure, yeah. Like
at such a young age too. You're so young.
Yeah, I was 23 at the time when I finished up with chemo.
And had 3 beautiful boys.
Yeah, and then my son was born when I was 25.
Heck yeah.
Just shortly after, and but like I said, the ocean is such a healing force for me, and it's a selfish thing really to go surf. It's
it's a solo.
My wife is at home watching the kids, so I get up in the morning, go down patrol surf, and I so appreciate that. Thank you, honey, if you're listening. And because the ocean to me, especially after chemo, it became this church experience for me. And I still to this day I try to go surf every day. Like it's been kind of messy lately this past week, but I got out in a couple
the rainy season,
double overhead like Victory at Sea sessions recently, and it's like, it makes me really appreciate the clean days.
Yeah, exactly. You came back with a different, woo.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you so much for sharing. What are we going to share next here?
Yeah, actually, this is a newer song that's not released yet,
and you're signed with Brushfire Records, may we add.
Yeah,
pretty exciting.
I'm interested in making another record. Not sure who's gonna do it yet. I actually have some basic tracks I wrote down. I got done some demos and stuff I'm working on, and this is one of them. And
of course, the version is a full band sound because that's what I'm working toward. I've played with some other artists over the years and had little trios and
The
stuff.
three-piece, the Fry, are they brothers? The Fry brothers?
So when I'm in California, sometimes I jam with these guys over there. They're cousins. They're cousins, and they're from the Fry family, Fry Winery. Have you heard of Fry Wine?
Yes.
But they're great players. If you guys are listening, stoked to have such great musicians around. And so yeah, eventually I'll get to the band vibe soon. I'm working on that. But this is a song I wrote. Actually, wrote this song right after chemo. Actually, sorry, right during chemo. I was just finishing up chemo, and I was like, it was just dragging on. I just wanted to be done already, and I was just watching like surf movie after surf movie after surf movie. And I was actually going in the ocean like during chemo. I didn't get the port thing, so I was like, I want to go in the ocean and like I was like this bald head guy out there surfing.
Just floating, like, are you okay? You're like, I'm fine.
And I did good. I'm really into nutrition and organic health food, so I really nourished my body through the chemo experience, and I stayed healthy and strong, and it was hard, but I came out really healthy still, and was like back at the Hokipa like Pavil's lineup like a month after chemo, and I was like, still bald. People were like, what's this bald guy doing? I'm like, oh, it's Pat. He's bald now.
I got a new lease on life. Get out of my way.
So this is a song called "A Good Day," and it's still not released yet. I haven't done a full studio version, but it's about realizing every day is a good day if we choose to make it a good day. And see the blessings in it. And so for me, the ocean and during chemo, watching surf movies, I was just like watching surf. My buddies, like I think Albie Lair and Matt guys put out a surf movie like right at the same time I was going through chemo. And so I was like, had this brand new surf movie to watch, all my friends. And I wrote that. There's a little part in the song about that. It's called "A Good Day" again. It's a good day. Doesn't matter what anybody's got to say. I don't care what side of the bed I woke up on. I don't mind what time I slept through, even if I slept at all. Glass windows, they just don't show me everything I need to know. And the clouds outside, they cannot hide what I'm trying to say. Hey, 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 it's a good day. Hey, 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 it's a good day. Hey, 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 it's a good day. I'm okay, and it's a good day to go and find the perfect ways. Even when I'm not feeling so hot, I can still watch my friends get the rides of their lives. I can still lift my cup up to be filled with the sky. But the glass windows, they just don't show me everything I need to know. And the clouds outside, they cannot hide what I'm trying to say. Hey, 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 it's a good day. 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 is growing strong. Yes, my body is growing strong. Feeling better every day. Water's clean and my garden's green. It's a good day. Hey, 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 it's a good day. I'm okay, and it's a good day. It's okay, you'll be fine. It's okay, you'll be fine, yeah. It's okay, you'll be fine, yes, yeah. It's okay, we'll be fine, yeah. It's okay, we'll be fine, yeah. It's okay, you'll be fine, yeah. It's okay, you'll be fine. Just breathe.
Woo!
It's a good day. Thank you guys, mahalo.
These are great songs, Pat.
Appreciate it.
I really like these, and every single one has got a poignant message and also positive, you know? That's really, thank you. That's a great new
Yeah.
song.
I know, so I'm working on that one. It's not released in a studio version yet, but it'll be out there.
Thank you for the sneak peek.
Yeah, I know I had to just, that was a really crucial part of my healing was the surf and the ocean and just getting out there. And I think that's why I was so stoked to be a father at such a young age. When the woman of my life came along, I knew that she was the one. And I said, if I'm going to do it, I better go for it now. And while I have the health in my body. And so, yeah, after coming out of chemo, I was like, okay, this is the time.
What a gift.
I'm going to make children now. And,
Yeah.
and I'm so blessed to have 3 little boys to raise. And they're all born at home at my family's land where I was raised, which is cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about your boys and what a great life that they have and how, they know where their food comes from. They're not those
do.
little kids that think their tomatoes come from the grocery store.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, we go to the farmer's market. We go to the store once in a while. But yeah,
course, but
they help. They see what's up. They see what we're doing. And my oldest boy, he's 6.5 now, and he goes and helps me harvest. I mean, even the twins they're 3 and they're like at the bottom of the orange tree. We're like up in the orange tree and they're at the bottom. And we're tossing oranges down to them and they're putting them in the wagon. And like we come home with 60 pounds of oranges.
and their little overalls, I can't take them.
Yeah, my dad planted a lot of fruit trees on the land that we live on in Peahi. And so like 25-year-old trees we're harvesting fruit from right now.
Love
And
that,
we've got
yes.
oranges just dripping off the trees and
You're just-
avocados just finished up. And so it's a multi-generational farm, which is what I'm creating and
Yeah.
holding it down. I really want to keep that zone.
And big shout out to your parents. They're so cool.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
love
Mom
your
and
dad
Dad,
and your
for-
mom.
Yeah, and I just want to express such gratitude to my family for bringing me here. Like a lot of like locals are like not stoked when people move here, being like off island, like transplants and stuff. But I had no choice coming here. My parents brought me as this little kid, so like I didn't choose to come invade and be transplanted here. But I'm glad
You've been
I'm glad
embraced.
I
You're
did.
giving back to the land,
And,
literally.
I try to, and like I said earlier in the talk, just about remembering that we're on Hawaiian land, and so that's a special part of being here is we get to be here, and the food is just so much a part of that for me. And spending time in the ocean is important, but the food and teaching my children a way of life that not many people are really passing on right now. And there's a handful of people I know who are raising their kids around the Aina.
Mm-hmm.
In even the local Hawaiian people, they do their best to keep their culture going and keep their kids close to the Aina, but not everybody can do it. A lot of people are sending their kids to public school, and I'm not
It's
putting
tough.
down public school, but
Yeah.
public school is not going to teach their kids what's good to eat. they didn't teach me that.
Preservatives,
so,
is and everything
and,
there.
Yeah, like the conventional educational system is designed to separate people from the Aina and to get them in working jobs, and which is not
Metropolis.
the way for the future. We need farmers. We need people.
And if COVID wasn't another reflection of that, like us being at home and not being able to go out to eat, it's like, guess what? Food doesn't come from restaurants. It comes from you can make food.
So like there's a big movement right now of people to train the future farmers of our world, because we need everything is dependent on farming. The food industry is dependent on farming. The farmer is like, I think the average age of farming now is like somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like I was a part of the Farmers Union of Hawaii.
The generations are
HFUU,
passing it down as much.
and like I learned from Uncle Vince Mina about how like the average farming age is like in there, somebody like 65 years old is the average age of a farmer, which is really sad. We need younger farmers that are going to keep it going. We can't just have the older generation trying to hold on. Like they're tired already. Like they need to pass it on, and I'm not putting anybody down who's still farming at an older age. It's okay to be farming at an older age, but we need to keep the generational passing of the torch going.
Well, thank you so much for being such a voice for that.
Thank you.
And using your music to talk about that. It's really
appreciate it. Yeah.
Inspirational.
I know, and I didn't really intend on that. It just kind of happened. Like I actually went to school. I went to college on the mainland. Was seeking to go to this alternative school, but I wanted to learn about music. I was like interested in doing a music program at the school, and then I signed up for classes late, and then the only thing that was available was this class called Into the Woods, and it was all about forest ecology and community resilience, and also about like the logging industry of up in the Northwest. So I learned all about the history of the logging industry, and that got me interested in environmental stuff.
That kind of changed the trajectory of your mind.
My whole trajectory changed because that being late for signing up for classes in college
changed
fate. My whole life.
It was fate.
Yeah, I really was not meant to go and do that music class at the college. I was meant to learn about the forest. Which is why it got me into mushrooms and wildcrafting. And like I went to school in Olympia, Washington, just south of Seattle, and
beautiful area. Oh
got
my goodness.
My 4-year degree up there, and it was cool to learn all about the forest. And my mother-in-law got me this mushroom shirt because every time we go visit her, my wife's family in upstate New York,
you forage.
We go looking for mushrooms, and my kids are like all about it. They're like always wanting to look out for mushrooms and stuff. So it's cool to raise my kids close to the Aina.
Do you have like a dictionary of mushrooms? Like that?
Yeah, I've got some
like
mushroom
a little
books that have
Bible.
a lot of photos.
Yeah.
And you really want to do that when you're out in the forest. You can touch any kind of mushroom, even the most poisonous one. You can hold it in your hand and touch it, but you don't want to get any of the particles in your mouth.
Ooh.
That's the key. So and you want to cook all mushrooms. Really, all mushrooms should be cooked, even the edible ones. It's best to cook them.
Look at these fun mushroom facts here on Mana'o at Home.
Yeah,
good to know from Pat Simmons Jr.
Being a farmer and a permaculturist, an agricultural expert. I call myself kind of an expert. Being an expert in farming, I realize that the mushrooms are all about this. They're very important for our soil.
Oh, so
important. We wouldn't have the foods that we love without mushrooms, actually. So.
And the whole mushroom coffee revolution, the morning mushroom.
Right? Yeah, totally.
That's changing lives. I have like friends who are moms who are like they don't even regular coffee's not even part of their life anymore. Yeah,
it's good for the immune system. Certain mushrooms that are really, really medicinal, like they're ancient Chinese medicine has been a part of that. And I want to give a shout out to Malik Cotter at the Dragon's Den in Makawao.
Oh,
he helped.
They changed
he helped
lives
me through my chemo experience. I went through chemo.
You're the second person I've heard thank him.
And
wow.
he helped. He was the one who actually told me about Evergreen State College too.
Wow.
He was like, "Hey, you should go to you should check out this college, Evergreen." And that's where I ended up going. I'm a greener. They call us greeners. And
I have two friends that have survived cancer because of the mushrooms and going to Dragon's Den. And
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so the medicinal mushrooms are cool for our health, and they're everywhere, really. When you start looking around the forest, they're actually all around.
We're going to do a mushroom campaign. We're going to do a festival here. And Pat Simmons Jr. is going to headline. It's going to be fantastic.
I'll bring me to my next song.
All right, guys, we're here live and lovely on Mana'o at Home. Cool. Thank you so much for supporting Maui's Sonic Soldiers. I'm Trish da Dish, more from Pat Simmons Jr.
All right, this is a song called Touch the Ground. It's from my album. And I had the privilege of recording this song on the CD with Willie K. He played the ripping lead guitar parts on the tune. And the song is about getting outside, and when we're having hard times, we can always depend on nature to help us relax and to help us, maybe not always relax, maybe it's, when I'm going out surfing and stuff, sometimes I'm not so relaxed. It's like firing waves, but it helps me ground me when I'm out in nature, and that's what this song is about. It's called Touch the Ground. Just a bubble waiting to pop, and I'm looking to drop the troubles I think I've got. Red and green tea planted outside my window, reminding me to keep growing and to letting go. There ain't nothing I can do but choose to lose what doesn't serve me. What doesn't serve me. Breaks me, tries to shake me awake from the stories I believe and tell myself. There's no wealth in getting down. I said there's no wealth in getting down except to touch the ground. Except to touch the ground. Just touch the ground, yeah. Just touch the ground. Thanks so much. Touch the ground. Take your shoes off.
I know. I
Get
seriously,
outside.
look,
Touch the ground.
Me and you. Every person I interview never has shoes. I never have shoes. This is the best gig.
I know. I always want to show up to some random bar or something like, what's this guy have no
I
shoes?
know,
Come
right? Marty Dread.
I, like,
He's trying
forget
to
my
make
shoes.
it. We
I
could all
know.
be Marty Dread
Yeah,
and get away with it.
Barefoot, yeah. What's his song? No More Slipper.
That was
Yeah. I grew up listening to Marty. Marty is an inspiration for me. If Marty's listening, mahalo, Marty.
Yeah, we featured him here, and he was, he's got so many stories. It was hard to put. And even with you, I mean, we're almost done. Can you believe it's an hour already?
Right.
Everything goes so quickly because you guys are so interesting. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been so much fun. Don't forget to tip the talent, Pat Simmons Jr. on
Appreciate it.
Venmo.
Thank you so much for having me, Trish.
Oh, this has been
Stoked.
so great. And I was gonna say, let's talk that pedal you have, that fancy
Yeah.
pedal. It's so interesting and how much comes from that.
Totally, yeah,
radiates from a pedal. Let's talk
called,
about that.
It's made by this guy in Australia. It's called Wild Dog Stomp. And I initially learned about it from watching Xavier Rudd perform.
Yeah.
I was really inspired by Xavier Rudd over the years, seeing him live and listening to all his amazing records. And then when I saw him live, I was like, what the heck is that box he's stomping on there? And I started researching it, and I found out who had made his, and I contacted the guy, and he's just some random guy. I forget his name, but he's just this random guy who's living in Australia, who has a little wood shop at his home, and he makes
just came up with this
makes
fantastic.
these things. And he has different models. This was like the cheaper one. When I say cheap, it was like $300 or $400.
Yes.
But with shipping to Hawaii, of course. But it's just a cool wooden box with a pickup in it, and it's a real sound. It's not a digital sound. It's an actual. There's like a heel tone and a toe tone. The toe tone is really the stump. But
As someone who plays
it's
solo
cool.
shows, that
Totally.
elevates your gig
Totally.
immediately.
Yep.
Are you gonna have that tonight at Tui's?
I will. Yeah, I'll be at Tui's Butchery and Bistro over in Haiku Town there, right across from Colleen's. And,
Tell us a little bit about Tui's. It's kind of
yeah,
become like
Tui's
a
is
nice little
cool.
gathering place
Yeah, I
up
mean,
there in
people
Haiku.
for people who eat meat, it's a great local place to get organic quality meat, grass-fed meat. And Austin Tui, his last name is Tui, and Austin is a man. He's from the East Coast, and he's apparently he grew up around a butcher shop, and he wanted to bring the butcher shop vibe to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I met him at the farmer's market recently. Originally, I met him at the farmer's market. He was slinging meat, frozen meat at the farmer's market. And,
his white apron with a little bit of deer blood, no big deal.
So, yeah, you can go to Tui's Butchery and Bistro. They have a butcher shop that's open all day, I think like Monday through Friday. And then at night, they've been doing meals and like tacos and burgers and stuff. So it's a great little atmosphere, and it's right in Haiku Town.
I love the homey vibe. The
Totally.
music, it all just feels like you're in someone's backyard at a party.
Yeah, and you kind of are actually. It used to be this little Hawaiian, it used to be this I think like maybe Japanese Hawaiian family that lived there, and there's like a huge old mountain apple tree right next to where you play, and it's always like going off, and there's like in a certain time of year, there's all the pink flowers falling off, so I'm like surrounded in pink flowers by the mountain apple tree, and it's like big mangoes and avos around there. It's just cool. So
is that the best about Maui? It's like the setting gets designed.
Yeah, and it's like a spot where the locals of Maui, North Shore locals can come and hear me play, which is cool. It's like a more not a super touristy spot. There's some visitors that come, but it's really like a local taco hub where like the locals know about it.
And the good news is you just got a Southside gig.
Yep, just got a Southside gig, which is really cool. And they just reached out to me, which is really cool. I didn't have to go looking for gigs.
Woohoo!
And so I'm playing on next Saturday. I think it's every other Saturday. I'm starting with this couple Saturdays, February 25th. We're at the Maui Coast Hotel Pool Bar, which is cool. So that's 5 to 8 p.m. on February 25th, Saturday.
I know this is silly to say, but when I lived on the South Side, I used to ride my bike. And I'll tell you what, so many of my friends would be like, meet me at the pool bar. Cool. Meet me at the pool bar. And I'd be like, what pool bar? And
I've never been over
there.
there.
It doesn't even have like a name. It's just like, the Maui Coast Pool Bar. And you go there and you'd have some great cocktails, some great talk stories with some like diehard locals. And then right there's some music, beautiful, wonderful music. So you're gonna love it.
Stoked.
You'll have a lot of good. You're gonna really love the vibe there because it's a local meets visitors.
Cool, yeah. And I played at Fleetwood's for a while, a long time ago, and I love going over. It's cool to be on Maui with the visitor industry. We have here, as crazy as it is, it's great for music because there's a different audience every night, and so.
I know they're on vacation.
Yeah, totally.
We live in our lives, but they're having cocktails and dancing.
Yeah, and it's a unique thing. Maui's unique in that way. We have a cool music scene. So
yeah, you can go to the farm and then go to the resort the same day.
Totally, yeah, and like people the North Shore locals can catch me at Tui's, and then all the tourists can catch me at Maui Coast Hotel.
Pat, thank you so much for joining us. We got time for one more song.
Cool. Awesome.
You got one more?
Yeah, I got. And this is this is another song from the album here, and it's called How Many Years, and it's again a lot of these songs on my record came out around the time when I was going through chemo. In 2013, and so this is a song called How Many Years, and it's about we don't know how many years we have, and we have to enjoy it, and life is a gift, and
absolutely.
Going through such a wild experience as cancer really taught me that, and at a young age I was put through that experience, and coming out I'm just so grateful for every day. So this is called How Many Years. So thank you guys for having me on here. Appreciate it.
How many years, how many tears have I got before I die? It's not easy. Nobody said it'd be. I've been watching the sun fly by all my life, spinning round. And I've come in for a while, and I'll be back. I've come in for a while, and I'll be back. I've come in for a while, and
and I'll be back. I will return. For how many years? I don't know. How many years? I don't know. The wind blows and the plants have grown and our skin's grown too. Am I getting anywhere? Anywhere but here. Nobody said I would. And I've come in for a while, and I'll be back. I've come in for a while, and I'll be back. I've come in for a while, and I'll be back. I will return. For how many years? I don't know. How many years? I don't know. How many fears will I let go? Thank you so much, Mahalo.
Thank you so much, Pat.
It's good to be here. Good to be alive.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
I hear it through your music and just talking story with you. You're such a sweet soul, and I'm so happy to have you on Maui and all you're doing for education. And
Appreciate it.
I'd love that your kids are going to be leading the Farm Alliance
Totally.
in 25 years. I know it, and
We
keep
hope to have
making
a
music and spreading all that great
yeah,
love. We
hope
love
to
you.
have a family band one day too. We'll see.
Yes, please. Yes, a Simmons family band, no problem.
Yeah, I got my dad in there,
Yeah.
the twins, and my oldest son, and it would be pretty cool. We'll
You
see.
call me, I'll manage it. Okay, we get this. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning
Mahalo,
in.
thank you.
You can follow Pat Simmons. He's online at Pat Simmons Jr.
Yep.
You can follow him on Instagram and also Facebook. He's got some great events coming up and live music, and also learn some things about farming. Mahalo to my team today. Cody, we had Stephen Holding here. We have Johnny Pinata from Backlit Buddha Studios, and mahalo for everybody for tuning in. I'm Trish da Dish. We'll be back 1 month from today with Desiree Garcia. Very excited to have her, songwriter and exciting talent here on Maui. You can watch these episodes on YouTube at Mana'o Radio, or also just go to mana'oradio.com and go to the little Mana'o at home, and you can view all 65 episodes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting music. I'm Trish da Dish. I'll see you on the flip side. Take care of yourself and each other. Woo! Thanks again to Pat Simmons Jr. Ow! And Gus, my stage manager. Woo! All right, all right, all right. Choo! We did it. That was awesome. Woo! Bravo.